Hello, I am Shay, and you're watching Powkiddy A19. Oh gosh, guys, I want to say thank you for tuning back. I had some mishaps with some deliveries and just didn't have anything to review for a while. But it's changed now. Since you clicked on this, you are interested in this unit, so I'm going to reveal it now. So this is, it's got many names. So what I'm going to call is what I found it. Let's see here. There we go. Yeah, there we go. It's called a Powkiddy A19. It's also known as a Supretro handheld. You can find it on ALIEXPRESS. In fact, I'll have some information in the description below if you want to check it out. It's running about 90 bucks on US market. I'm not sure where it is where you are. So anyway, it's a futuristic Gameboy. Why I got it. I think it's pretty cool, the aesthetic. The question about the D-pad being circular, does it work? Yeah, it works fine. It's just a little odd. And I'll get into more of that during this first impressions video, but I want to say that right off the bat, I like this unit so far. I think it does have some downfalls to it, and I'll go into more detail with that, but It runs off an Android. If you want some specs, I'll have it down in the description. I don't have it on top of my head right now, so if you want to know more about this, click down there. So anyway, without further ado, let's hop in and I'll just show you some games. I'll show you how to get online. When I got the unit, there was no instructions at all. There was no toilet paper manual in there at all. Just a charging cable. There wasn't even a TV out cable. I don't even know if it goes on TV or not. I have no idea. So the first things, I mean, you'll notice right away, it does look kind of futuristic. The D-pad is right here. It does feel, it is clicky, and it does work, but there's some things I want to point out with it. The knobby thing works pretty well. These buttons here are pretty nice. And my messenger just went off. So it's got, you know, this is your volume control, and then up top here is your headphones and your charging port and TF card goes in there, and power buttons on the side. So I'm still learning a little bit more about this unit, guys. So let's just dive in and I'll show you a few things about this unit, and more in-depth videos are on the way. Had a little time to play with this thing pretty much all day, and some couple of things. And now this is going to be our first impressions video, so a lot more in depth. I'll get into this thing more and more, so stay tuned for that. But for now, let's jump into some of the things that I've learned about this unit so far. So the buttons, that has been a lot of questioning about the buttons. Okay, yeah, they are a little wonky. The D-pad is a little weird. It's clicky, for one thing. As you can tell, I'm moving the menu around, okay? And let's see here. So what I found about the D-pad is that there is a flaw with it. There's a latency issue with the D-pad, which is I'm not a big fan of. More noticeable when you're going left to right on a platforming game. Maybe a fighting game, you might notice it there. I'm not sure, but for me, it was more noticeable on a platforming game. And I will get into more depth later in the future with that. Maybe that's just an update on the manufacturer's end or a software update of some sort. But there is some, like a half a second lag. Maybe it's not even that long, but it's long enough for you to notice when you're going from left to right. So if you're doing a fast-paced action, I'm trying to find an example here that would kind of give you an idea of that. Let's see here. Another thing too, I wanted to note that a lot of these games that are on here are in a different language, so you just be aware of that. Everything else works okay. Like the thumbstick works pretty well. The extra 6 face buttons on here work really well as well. I like them. They and the bottom buttons work really good too. Okay, so let me show you real quick what I mean by having some issues with the D-pad. So let's just hop in here. I'm just gonna hop in Mario. We'll just play us a little bit of Mario here. Okay, so when you're going from like left to right, sometimes, not always, there might be like a kind of a like I said, like a split-second delay. It's all, I mean, I don't know, pretty much all emulation has some kind of lag, input lag. That's just normal. And I'm figuring that's just the goof of this device so far. It's just that it has some noticeable input lag. Now, I don't know if hooking up a different controller is going to fix that issue, or just an update in the future for the software. I'll get into a little bit more of that menu here shortly. I just wanted to kind of see if it'll give me the example of the lag here on camera. Try to see if I can demonstrate that. Yep, there it just happened. So I went to move and jump at the same time, and it kind of just paused for a second. Just something to note, guys. I noticed it right away. It doesn't stop me from playing. It's still fun to play. So don't let that deter you at the moment. It is something to note, though, that pretty much all emulation devices have some kind of input lag. This one definitely has it with the D-pad somewhat. So you can. I also found that the more you use the D-pad, the more that your finger starts to hurt. It's probably because I'm not used to it. It is a circular indent, so it is kind of indented a little. So okay, there was some input lag there too. I want to go forward and it didn't go forward. So just FYI on that. That's kind of a bummer that it's, that the controls are a little bit laggy, but I think in the future it could be fixed. And honestly, it's not that terrible. It's just there. It's noticeable and it's there. So anyway, I'm gonna hop out and show you some other stuff with this unit. Okay, so I'm going to show you real quick how to go online. So this unit, what I really like about it is that it's user-friendly right out of the box. So which means you don't really need to do anything extra to it when you get it out of the box. I'm going all the way up to the category here because I'm going to go to the all. And it's what I like about it. You don't have to fuss around with the SD cards and swap them and download firmware and do all that jazz. It's just a pain in the butt, and a lot of people don't know how to do that. So with this unit, you are set. You don't need to do anything except maybe go online. So I'm going to show you how to do that because it took me a few minutes to do that. When I got this unit, there was no paperwork at all, no manual, nothing. So I had to kind of figure it out on my own. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold the home button down for about 3 seconds until you get this menu. Okay, this menu is going to have your handheld settings, key settings, enter game settings, your game market, all that stuff. Check for update, whatnot. So to go online, you want to go into, hopefully my camera, go into the handheld settings and click A, and then go to your Wi-Fi, click A, and then put in your Wi-Fi information and connect to the internet. There's also a Bluetooth section there, if you can see that. There's also a brightness setting. Now I have it down to 50%, that is as low as it'll go. So if you're online, you can check out the game market. I'll have you do that on your own if you have the unit, or in a future episode, if you want me to check out the game market, let me know in the comments below. So I'm going to back out. I'm going to show you a few thumbnails here of some games. This is PSP. It does play PSP pretty well. Pretty impressed with it. So if you're into that, yeah, you gotta head up. So there's a little bit of a menu up at the top there that you can circle through. I really like doing the category because then in the category you can find all the units. So this is Super Nintendo, if you can tell, okay? And there's quite a few. Now, just keep in mind, some of these games are not in English, so you might have to go to the game market or put in your own games if you don't want the ones that are not in English to be on here. So, but it has quite a few, as you can see here, quite a few, Super Nintendo. If you go over, it's got Game Boy Advance, many titles for that. It's just awesome because that's my favorite console. Also some Game Boy Color, and let's see here. Let's see if I can find it. Some of the names are kind of off too, just FYI. Just letting you know. I think I actually downloaded this. Let's give it a whirl because there's no picture. It means I downloaded it. So we're gonna check this game out here real quick. This is Bubble Bobble, the Game Boy Color version. So yeah. So this is one heck of a futuristic Game Boy. I'll tell you that. And I think that's why they kept the circle D-pad, to be honest with you. I think they wanted this aesthetic to stay like this. They didn't want to change the design. And you know what? I can't blame them for that, guys. This thing is absolutely stunning. It's just really, really cool. Is it, efficient? No. It's not. I mean, it works, but it's kind of annoying when with lag, but I love it though. I still like the design. I know I know there's gonna be a lot of people not happy with this D-pad, but you know what? I don't know if I use it enough. Maybe it'll kind of, I don't know, kind of break in a little bit. It just feels really new to me. I think that it's got that really, really new feeling to it, like a new controller would have. That's what it feels like to me. But you can always switch back too. You can always just use the thumbstick. If you're having trouble with the D-pad, you've got an option. You can use the thumbstick. And the thumbstick works pretty good, guys. So there you go. There's that Game Boy Color there I showed you. This is a Mega Drive, so I'm assuming it plays Mega Drive just fine. If you want to see some games on the Mega Drive, please let me know. It can play Sega Dreamcast. So, yes, it can. In fact, I will load this game. Okay, so I'm going to hop in here real quick. And while it's loading and getting ready to play, I will give my last final thoughts, my final impression, and we'll take it from there, right? Thanks for sticking with me, guys, because I do have a lot of stuff coming. I have the CM3 unit for the GPI case coming. You gotta stay tuned for that. That's pretty cool. Not great at these fighting games, but I'll do my best. The sound is actually pretty good. I mean, in some games, sometimes it's a little tinny. If there's only one speaker. But, you know, it doesn't sound too terrible. I've heard a lot worse. There is a couple things I do want to talk about on this unit that I did notice that was mentioned with other reviewers on this unit. So, the screen issue with the little blister bubble thing that shows up. Mine does have that. After about, I don't know, 8 hours of playtime, it showed up. When the unit is on and it's playing, it's not hurting anything. It's not showing anything. It's fine. To me personally, I don't find it, hurting anything. So, just FYI on that, I do have that screen thing going on. I know that was a complaint. And they didn't fix it, or I guess they didn't fix it because I have it on my unit. So this is a first edition of this unit, so I have no idea what I'm doing. I do find myself, going back and forth, using the D-pad and using the thumbstick. In some games, the D-pad actually works as different buttons, like shoulder buttons type thing. Like the R2 left, R2 right 2, left, sorry, the left 2, right 2. I think it is. I'm not sure though. I'm not 100% sure. But more is coming. If you just want to stay tuned, so if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the like, share. I'll have more stuff coming for future episodes. We'll see if I can beat this guy, and then I'll be done. If you're into fighting games and MAME and arcade, this is the unit for you, man. It's got you covered there. I'm actually not doing too bad. But I'm not very good at fighting games either, so. Oh, no, that didn't hurt. That wasn't good. I think I'm down. Okay, that's it. Well, Captain America will just be there. Okay, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Stay tuned for our future stuff, and I'm out of here.